It is the 31st of May 2006. 11 hours. Military time. Stockholm, Sweden. The coordinates lead to a subterranean facility known as Riksport 80. The environment is hostile to organic life. The air is recycled. It is scrubbed of humidity and chilled to a constant 19 degrees Celsius. The acoustic profile is dominated by the deafening 85 decibel drone of industrial cooling fans spinning at 5,000 RPM. 53 tactical officers breach the perimeter. This is a synchronized extraction. They move across the anti-static floor in formation. Boots thud against the tiles. Standard issue Heckler & Koch MP5s are held at the low-ready position. They are not looking for a cartel leader or a terrorist cell. They are hunting a specific serial number on a black metal tower. An officer locates the target. It is a disorganized rack labeled PRQ. He bypasses the shutdown protocol. He grips a bundle of gray Cat5e Ethernet cables and rips them from the switch. The plastic locking tabs snap. The connection is severed physically. The LED status lights on the Dell PowerEdge servers flicker from a rhythmic pulsing green to a frantic amber. Finally, they turn to a dead and cold black. Miles away in a dimly lit room, an anonymous figure sits before a dual-monitor Linux terminal. He watches the command line interface. The cursor blinks. Request timed out. Destination host unreachable. The data stream has been decapitated. He does not run. He takes a sip of warm flat cola and smiles. The screen goes dark. How did one anonymous coder trigger a diplomatic crisis that forced the White House to threaten trade sanctions against a sovereign nation? To answer that question, we must deconstruct the timeline. Flashback to 2003. We need to profile the architects. This operation was not built by a criminal cartel or a sophisticated state actor. It was built by three geeks in a kitchen that smelled of stale pizza and burning solder. Meet Gottfried Svartholm, alias Anakata. He is the erratic coding prodigy. He is a biological machine, running on insomnia and caffeine and complex chemical cocktails. His fingers move across a mechanical keyboard with the speed of a concert pianist. He is writing the tracker code that will eventually route 50% of the internet traffic for the entire planet. Beside him is Frederick Nage, alias TiAMO. He is the hardware savant. He is the man who can build a supercomputer from scrap parts and duct tape. And finally, there is Peter Sunday, alias Brokep, the ideologue, the public face who translates the binary chaos into a political manifesto. They are not building a weapon. They are building a library. They call it the Pirate Bay. The architecture is deceptively simple. It is a BitTorrent tracker. The site itself holds no content, no movies, no music, no stolen software. It is merely a signpost. It is a digital phone book that connects user A to user B. But the scale is unprecedented. We see the user count ticking up on their admin console. 100 users. 1,000. 1 million. The bandwidth graph on their monitor spikes vertically. It is a digital tsunami crashing against the infrastructure of the legacy internet. The descent begins when the traffic becomes impossible to ignore. The infrastructure strains under the weight of a global revolution. In Los Angeles, the legal departments of DreamWorks and Warner Brothers and MGM go to DEFCON 1. They send cease and desist letters on heavy official letterhead. The papers are stamped with the weight of billion-dollar copyrights. Most server admins would tremble. Gottfried laughs. He opens the email client. He types a reply. He does not cite legal precedent. He cites anatomy. Go F yourself. He hits send. The whoosh of the email departing is the sound of a line being crossed. They do not just ignore the threats, they publish them on the site to mock the most powerful copyright entities on Earth. The psychological shift is complete. They believe they are untouchable. They are no longer just hosting files. They are declaring war on the concept of intellectual property itself. The hunter enters the frame. The MPAA realizes that civil letters are useless against anarchists. They escalate the theater of war. They bypass Swedish law enforcement entirely and go straight to the White House. Diplomatic cables are exchanged between Washington and Stockholm. The message is binary and brutal. Shut them down, or we impose trade sanctions on Sweden. This is no longer a copyright dispute. It is a geopolitical crisis. A private investigator is hired to tail Fredrik. We see grainy telephoto surveillance photos of the founders entering a cafe. They are drinking coffee. They are unaware that the crosshairs of international diplomacy are centered on their chests. The technical gap closes. The hunters are using state-level pressure to crush 3 guys with a server rack. The Swedish government buckles. The surveillance warrants are signed. The Minister of Justice is forced to act, but the fortress is already built. Fredrik Nage has anticipated this day. He works to fortify the system inside the Riksport 80 facility. He is not just hiding servers, he is building a labyrinth. He sets up the hardware inside a bank vault within the data center. The setup is chaotic but brilliant. Cables are draped like vines. Cooling fans are rigged with duct tape to force airflow over overheating processors. He implements a load balancing protocol that distributes the tracker data across multiple nodes. He believes the physicality of the internet protects them. If the server is here but the user is there and the data is nowhere, then who is guilty? He tests the redundancy. He pulls a plug. The site stays up. He nods, satisfied. This brings us back to the Gambit. The raid. The 31st of May, 2006. The police enact the high-risk plan. They do not just take the Pirate Bay servers. They scour the facility. They take everything. Legitimate business servers that are unconnected to the site are ripped out of the racks. The founders receive the call. They are at the gate. Peter Sunday does not flee. He issues a press release during the raid. It is a race between the police unplugging the machines and the founders broadcasting the injustice to the world. The police think they are executing a clean takedown. Actually, they are triggering a martyr complex. The server status offline text flashes red across monitors worldwide. The collision is immediate. The site yields a 404 not found error. The internet reacts with fury. Protests erupt in the streets of Stockholm. We see young people waving pirate flags. They hold signs that read, "Hands off our internet." The collision is not between police and hackers anymore. It is between the state and the public. The founders are dragged into interrogation rooms. The atmosphere is sterile and fluorescent and hostile. They are calm. They are arrogant. They are technically superior to their interrogators. The police officer slams a hand on the table. He asks about the leader. Gottfried leans back and looks bored. He explains there is no leader. It is a hydra. Cut off one head and 2 more grow back. The police are trying to arrest a concept. Phase 8. The false resolution. MPAA executives in Los Angeles pop champagne. The Swedish police hold a press conference. They display the seized servers like trophies from a big game hunt. They declare the piracy empire dismantled. The founders are released pending trial. The world believes it is over. The media cycle moves on. But in the shadows, the silence is deceiving. Fredrik and Gottfried meet in secret. They have a backup. It was not in the bank vault. It was never in the bank vault. The masterstroke is executed 72 hours post-raid. Fredrik initiates the restore sequence from a backup concealed on a server in the Netherlands. The data propagates through the backbone of the internet. The DNS records update. On June 2nd, the site flickers back to life. But the logo has changed. The iconic pirate ship is now firing cannonballs at the Hollywood sign. The traffic does not just return, it doubles overnight. The raid did not kill them. It gave them millions of dollars in free global publicity. They are now mythical. The police realize with a sinking feeling that they seized metal and plastic and silicon, but they missed the code. The mutation begins in 2009. The spectrial takes place. The founders are sentenced to prison and fined millions. But the technology mutates to survive the legal onslaught. They abandon the physical tracking files. The torrent files are gone. They switch to magnet links. The entire database of the Pirate Bay is millions of files and petabytes of content. It is compressed into metadata. The entire index is shrunk down to 90 megabytes. It is small enough to be carried on a USB drive in a pocket. It becomes portable and clonable and impossible to seize. They detach the site from physical servers entirely. They move to a cloud-based infrastructure. They are ghosts in the machine. But then comes the chilling truth. The reality of the physical world catches up. The founders fall one by one. Gottfried is hunted down in the humid jungles of Cambodia. We see the footage of his arrest. He is no longer the arrogant coder. He is deported and placed in solitary confinement in a Danish prison. He is thin and pale and deprived of a keyboard. Peter is arrested in a farm raid. He is pinned to the dirt. Frederick is caught crossing a border in Thailand. They pay the human price for the digital victory. The victory was ideological, but the personal cost was total freedom. The state could not kill the code, so they broke the men. The bridge to the present day is a view of a headless monster. The founders are out, or broken, or moved on. Yet the Pirate Bay is still online. It is run by anonymous successors. It is a ghost ship sailing on autopilot. Mirrors exist on thousands of servers worldwide from Russia to Southeast Asia. The camera pans out from a single laptop screen in a bedroom to a view of the Earth covered in a web of glowing data connections. The initial 53 officers raided a room. They failed to realize the room had no walls. The code is now immortal.